In this video, I am going to discuss homework. Your assessment for this class has two categories: chapter test and homework. They're worth 50-50. Now you will have one homework for each chapter, and the due dates are given right below the weekly folder. Okay, so if you click the weekly folder, and they're all laid out exactly the same way week after week. So let's look at week 3, for example. So we have classwork, practice, test, and assessment. Remember, you should have completed your classwork before attempting the assessments. Click assessments and you see the test. I discussed test in a different video. Now the homework is right here, and there will be two files attached. Okay, there is a Word document and then an Excel document. Okay, now you need to read all these instructions carefully and follow the instructions diligently. So I'm going to add one more file here, and that will have the do's and don'ts of Excel. Okay, I'll talk about that in just a second. But when you click the Word document, and remember, if you get a message that you need permission from me, you're not logged in with your UTC ID. So you have to click switch accounts and log in with your UTC ID. So don't click request permission, because I will not, there is nothing for me to do. I've already given the permission to all of you students. Okay, so now you can download the Word document. Okay, so I'm going to just review. So you have the questions laid out. Okay, and then how much the questions are worth. Okay, and then what is the alignment with learning activity and learning objective of the course. And then I have what you need to submit and some partial answer key. So the partial answer key, I tried my best to make sure that there are no typos, but always, when you're dealing with so much of material, okay, it's possible that I may have missed something, maybe transcribed the wrong number or something. So I'm providing the partial answer key as a courtesy. So if the answer key is wrong and you have that wrong answer, I will still be deducting points, because this is not given as an official correct answer. It is given as a courtesy for you to check your work. So I'm not guaranteeing that these partial answer keys are always 100% correct. I tried my best. Okay, I have only two eyes, so if there are two more eyes, somebody else looks over my work, then we could probably guarantee 100% accuracy. Okay, when you do the homework, you must do the homework very similar to what I have done in the classwork. You should use Excel. You should use Excel formulas the way I have used it, and use the functions that I've used in the classwork. Like I use index function, so you should use index. You should also use index function. If I use match function, you should use match function in your homework. If I used VLOOKUP, you should use VLOOKUP. That kind of stuff. You should do, whatever the way in which I solved the class problem, that is the way in which you should also solve the problem similar to that, predominantly. Okay, and now you read all these important instructions. You should, if you don't follow these instructions, then you will, and I will deduct significant amount of points. All right, so that's your Word document. Okay, so now we have the Excel document. So if you click the Excel file, again you'll see the same sort of situation. Okay, so you have to download. Okay, if it says you need permission, remember you have to switch and log in with your UTC Marks ID. Now when you open the homework shell file, the first screen you will see is this, and there is just one tab, nothing is visible, and here you should click enable content. If you don't see enable content, then that means that you have not set the security correctly. So you should be, okay, file options, trust center settings, macro settings, it should be here. if you set disable all macros without notification, then the macros will not be enabled and you won't be able to see um, any of the sheets. You don't want these two because these would be less of a secure environment. You want here disable all macros with notification, so you will get a notification to override disabling. So you enable content and then you will see the screen and you enter your UTC ID. Okay, so when you enter your UTC ID, if you entered it correctly, and you should then, when you click OK, then you will see all the sheets that are needed. Okay, and it will get personalized. Okay, see my name is personalized here, and you will see that in each of those sheets. And if there are any data that you need, okay, so like here in this assignment for problem 10 you needed some data, so I have provided the data here so you don't have to type it in yourself. If it was just a small problem, just a few numbers for you to type in, then you need to do it. But if there are lots of numbers to type in, that I have already provided those for you. Okay, like if you need some the chart, then I've provided the chart as well. Okay, and you need to follow the same arrangement like sheet 1. Here it says do problems 1 to 3 in this sheet, so you do problems 1 to 3 in this sheet, problem 4 in this sheet, 5 to 7 in this sheet. Okay, and so on. Follow the instructions, and there are reasons why I want you to follow this, because I have lots of students to grade and I want some consistency, so I don't have to be looking around where things are. And you should lay your work out in a detailed fashion, very similar to the way I have done it in the classwork. So if it is not done properly, then I'll just simply deduct points and give you 0 for the problems. You need to make sure that you do it in a way that I can easily understand what you have done. And when you do your homework, you need to make sure that you follow my instructions that I've given in 2 places. One is here in every homework document. I have listed the things that you should be following. So your work should be very similar to the classwork, and you should use the same kind of functions and formulas that I have used in the classwork. And I've also indicated what you should not do and what you should do and that kind of stuff. So read through this carefully. And then I have another file, okay, called Excel Best Practices, and I will make that available to you in every homework page as well. So here I again have listed bullet points, what you need to do and what you shouldn't do. So here some of the things that I've already described, like you have to download the Excel file that I have given, and you have to personalize that file. You can't just make up your own file or borrow or copy a file from somebody else, that kind of stuff. And you need to enter all your input values in separate cells and label them, use background color, and then do your modeling with formulas. Don't work the numbers out in a piece of paper and then just type in the numbers. You'll get 0 credit if you did that. And you need to lay out the model in a logical step-by-step fashion like I have done in the classwork. And if you have long formulas and that needs to be broken up into smaller pieces, okay, not too small, and you don't want 15 steps for a single formula, but you should break it up into 2, 3 or maybe 4 pieces if it is a really, really long formula, and then put them together in a final cell. And you have to label each cell on the left side adjacent to the cell and describe what the cell to the right contains. So you should use very descriptive labels, so a reader like me grading your work will be able to understand what you have done. If I don't understand what you have done, you get 0 for the problem. And you should use color coding in a very consistent way. Don't overuse color, and use it in a judicious way and make it professional looking. And you can always fall back on the class problem, how I have done it, and use that as the model for your work. and make sure, again, there's one thing that you need to make sure, that when you are ready to upload the file and submit, make sure that the file doesn't contain this character, which is to the left of the number key 1. Then if you see that character, that means it's the temporary file, it is not an Excel file, and I won't be able to open that file. So make sure that you upload the correct file. You need to take a moment and ensure that. And again, from don'ts, okay, you don't make a copy of the shell file from somebody else or make up your own. Okay, you have to download the file that I have provided and enter the Marks ID to personalize it, and upload the correct file. Okay, and once you're done, you keep saving your file, okay, as you work. Don't just keep on working without saving. And once you have done all your work and saved everything, so you're ready to now upload or submit the file. You go back to the assignment page. Okay, so here is the assignment, right? You click the assignment, okay, and here is submission. Browse my computer, right, and browse to the folder where you saved your work. Okay, I'm going to just make up a file. Okay, so you attach and then you have to click submit. So if you attach the file and just go away, the file will not be available for me to grade. So two things to do when you submit: you attach the file, okay, and the file name will appear right down below, attached file, and then you have to click submit. So then you're done.